I made this kitchen out of polymer clay about 2 months after I started even using polymer clay. And I was really inspired by this new color of clay I got. It was this beautiful Primo granite clay, and I was so inspired by this color because I'd never seen anything like it before that I decided to make something with it. Only, what can you make out of granite that isn't a kitchen? So that's where I got this idea from. These are the tools I used to create my kitchen. So I have this little, I'm going to call it a toothpick tool with a ball tool on the end. And this is a little knife right here. And here, this was the needle tool, and this is a really big part of creating the kitchen because there are so many little details that I need to do. And these three were from a basic Sculpey tool starter set when you're doing clay. And I thought it was a really great deal. It was only like $13 or so, and it's really great tools to have when you're creating things out of clay. This is a clay dedicated paring knife, and it's great. It cuts through clay and it doesn't leave any smudging or anything, and it was only from the dollar store. It was really great. If you need a tool, this is a great thing to have. And lastly, I also use this rolling pin to roll out all the counters. There are so many counters, and I did not have a pasta sheeter yet, so some of the counters did turn out crooked, I will admit, but this rolling pin was a big part of getting everything flat. And once again, these things are really cheap too, and you can use pretty much anything for a rolling pin. I made the cabinets out of hazelnut Sculpey clay. I bought this huge block of it, and I decided that would be a great color for cabinets because a lot of people are using dark woods now in kitchens, as I've seen in magazines and on TV. What I did was I scratched the wood a little bit to look as if it was distressed. That's what I'm going to call it. And I thought that turned out pretty cute. The countertops are of course made out of the Primo granite, but if you don't have this color, another thing you could use is this Fimo granite, or you could just use gray, black, pretty much any color that could be used as a countertop would be good. So here are two different actual granite colors. You can see the difference there. Now for the appliances, I created a dishwasher, as you can see, a microwave, a stove, and a fridge. On the fridge, it's a double door fridge, so it's got the freezer side and the fridge side, and I just used a little rolled out piece of black to divide those in half, as well as make black for the door handles. Then I have these little cute multicolored magnets on there, a little picture frame, and here is like a hand-drawn picture of a flower that you might hang up on your fridge, just like if your kids drew it or if you drew it. For the stove, what I did was I cut out a block of white, and you can see it's attached in here, and I also added this little dashboard, I think that's what it's called, and I put these little buttons on it, as well as this little silver display that the time would be on. And the burners are white, and I'm not sure if you can see, but this burner under the hot frying pan is red, and it's got a little egg in there. I also put this cute little purple towel on the railing, the stove opener. The word is escaping my mind right now. It's got the little black door, and it's got the black base that I find on stoves have a lot on the bottom. And beside the stove, I've got this little dish that you can put your spoons or other utensils in after you're done putting them in the pot or whatever. So I'm saying that this person was also making spaghetti, which is why I also have spaghetti beside the sink. But this spoon is covered in tomato sauce, which I just used TLS mixed with red clay for. The microwave is a white box that I shaped with my hands, just like this, and it's got a flat black panel on it, which is the window or the door that you can see through. I poked these little dots in it, just like how on most microwaves it's got these little dots that you can look through to see when your food's cooking and stuff. And it's got the little buttons beside it. And here for the dishwasher, it is just a flat silver piece of clay with little buttons on it, as well as a little flat door handle. For the sink, I made the faucet and the two taps, and I hollowed out a part of the countertop. But I also filled it with TLS to look like dirty dishwater. I wish though if I was making this again I wouldn't put the TLS in, because I find it kind of hides the fact that I went to all the trouble to hollow it out and make it look flat. I thought it would have dried more clear. In terms of decorations on the countertop, I made this little vase with this beautiful design on it, and it's got these little roses in it. There's 2 pink and 1 purple, and I tried to make it coordinate with the magnets on the fridge and the towel on the oven door handle. And I've also got this little mail on the countertop. It might be hard to see, but I did draw these little triangles to look like the flaps of envelopes. And I also made these little bar stools, and they go on top of the bar beside the sink. The hardest part when making these little bar stools was to actually get them to stand, so I kept making these little black circles and trying to get them completely flat. Luckily they do stand now. And I added these little very thin backings onto them as if where you were sitting. I saw similar stools to this in like a design magazine or on a design show, and I thought they would be a great way to modernize the kitchen. It's got these little white padded tops too. I put a little bit of texturing on them. It's got these like a fabric pattern. I thought that the kitchen turned out great actually, better than I expected, and I tried to put a lot of detail in it to make it look really realistic, and I think it turned out pretty good. So I hope this really inspires you to try and make something that seems impossible out of clay, like this kitchen. And I also realized after I made it that it can fit in a dollhouse. So if you're into making dollhouse furniture, then this is a great way to really make your dollhouse look realistic. So thanks for watching.